for a good portion of my life, I was dealing with like minor brain fog. Like I would always get good grades, but I wasn't really like thinking clearly. I wasn't really thinking deeply about a topic. Like there was no topic that I could just sit and think about for like an hour, right? But now I make these videos and I talk about, self-improvement, overcoming overthinking, being an introvert, getting over the fear of posting content, like things like this. And I can talk about each of these topics for hours. And I've pretty much done that on this YouTube channel because I've posted now for like 60 days in a row. They're not hour-long videos, like 5 to 10 minute videos. But the fact that I've done so many of them means that I could talk about this for a long time, right? So how was I able to start thinking clearly? Well, it's based on changing what I was consuming. Because when I was growing up, I was watching a lot of like TV, play a lot of video games, and now I essentially read more books. I like to write, I like to make videos. Like I do things that are more long form. I listen to podcasts, and it kind of makes sense that doing that would change the way you think. Because if you're consuming a podcast, you have to sit there for like hours and listen to it. Well, then you have to sit there and like listen to the actual topics that they're talking about, right? You have to think about the topics they're talking about. You're not distracting yourself. You're more invested in that than if you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. Because when you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, you're seeing like thousands of videos, and each video is on a different topic. So your mind is going to jump from topic to topic to topic. And that was kind of like a minor case with like TV. But reading a book, you have to sit there and actually put in more effort. So like depending on the amount of effort you have to put in is how deeply you'll learn to think about something. So it takes a lot more effort to read, to listen to an audiobook, to listen to podcasts, hopefully watch videos like this. Hopefully you're getting value from this. I had to refilm this first part, and I shaved my beard, so I'm gonna look completely different in the next clip. So that's the first thing. It was changing what I consumed. And the next thing, which is just as important, is having some sort of way to express yourself. So whether that's writing, whether that's recording videos, whether that's painting, maybe not painting because you're not really putting it into words, but writing or recording videos, if you do one of those two things, what it does is it allows you to start thinking through things a little bit clearer. Whatever it is your preferred way of expressing yourself, like start doing that more consistently. Because if you do that, then you could like think through things out loud. And when you talk through something, it becomes a lot easier to think through it. Because talking, the reason we think and we talk is so that we can make better decisions, right? So if you talk through something, if you get your thoughts into words, things become a lot clearer. This is why like people go to therapy. It's like they're just talking through a problem so they can make decisions that would ultimately better their life. But you can do that to your phone. Obviously it's not the same as therapy. Like I'm not saying to replace therapy with talking to your phone, but I'm saying like do both. Like talk to your phone or write about what your thoughts are, because this way you're just getting it all out there. You're getting it in front of you so you can organize it. Like this is kind of related. I have like a giant whiteboard that I use in some of my videos. And the reason I have this giant whiteboard is because I could lay things out on it and I could see it in front of me. This is what talking about your thoughts does. Writing about your thoughts does. It's like it puts it in front of you so you can see the connections and then you can make better decisions. And that's such a useful skill. It's so valuable to be able to express yourself in one of these ways. And the nice thing about this is you already have what you need in order to start becoming more of a clear thinker, because you have a phone that you could talk to, or you just need a pen and paper and you just need to do that consistently. Like so many people think they need like a new application in order to like be happier or think clearer or have a more peaceful life. It's like, no, for throughout history, people were still happy before we had smartphones, social media, applications. So it's like a lot of times what you need to do is actually go backwards to what it was like before people started to be miserable because of social media and video games and Netflix and like all these addictions. I'm not saying all these things are terrible all the time, but it's like the more you do it, the worse it gets, right? It's like it's good in moderation. But before all of these things, people were happier. So it's like there are certain tools that people used to still be productive, to still be happy, and it was effective then. And now it seems to be that it's not that effective. So it's like don't download some new productivity application in order to like think clearer. You have the tools that you need right now. You just need to do it. You just need to take the effort to put the work in to actually write consistently or talk to your phone consistently or like somehow express yourself in a way that allows you to organize your thoughts. Because again, if you organize your thoughts, you can make better decisions. And if you make better decisions, your life turns out better. And it's so valuable to be able to think clearly and communicate yourself, because in anything that you do, there's always your technical skills and your communication skills. These play a factor in anything you do. Content creation, obviously communication skills are so important. But even if you were like an engineer, it's still important to have good communication skills, because that's how you like pitch your ideas. That's how you explain what you did. That's how you take credit for your work. I'm sure you've been in a situation where like someone gets a promotion instead of you because they were just better at communicating their ideas. Even though you may be smarter than them, you may be more technically sound, but they were able to communicate better. And being able to think clearly in this way allows you to communicate better. So it's like, it's so important to develop this skill. So that's step 2. And then step 3 is to implement the other healthy habits. Like those impact the way you think as well. It's not just how you feel or how long you live. It also impacts the way you think. Like if you don't sleep well or eat well or work out consistently, like you will get brain fog. And I know this because I felt it firsthand. Like for a good portion of my life, a lot growing up, I was eating unhealthy foods, like a lot of unhealthy foods. And I still obviously treat myself sometimes, but I'm mostly eating relatively healthy now. And I can think a lot clearer because of that. Like I can feel the impact when I have something that's like has a lot of sugar in it. It really does impact the way you think. It really does impact like your brain fog. And I think if you just focus on those healthy habits, then you'll be able to think clearer as well. So in summary, what really helped me think clearly was to change like the type of content that I was consuming. It was to write and speak to my phone, almost video journal, and just the other healthy habits like maintaining good sleep, eating healthy, and working out consistently. These things really impacted the way I think, and I think it could for you as well. And listen, implementing a new habit will always feel uncomfortable at first, because if you spent a good portion of your life not doing these things, then in order to read consistently or write consistently or do anything new that's outside of your comfort zone, it's gonna feel uncomfortable, like it's outside of your comfort zone, right? But just break it down to what the next step is that you would actually take, and then consistently try and get better. And the more you do that, the easier it gets. So even though it won't be easy at first, it will be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.